So students, in our last class we were learning about chapter body fluids and circulation. We will continue that. In last class, if you remember, we were learning about blood has two parts. Blood is a liquid connective tissue or fluid connective tissue. It has two parts. One is liquid part, that is called fluid matrix or plasma, no? And solid part is called formed elements. That is, formed elements includes RBCs, WBCs and platelets. That is red blood corpuscles, white blood corpuscles and platelets. Already we have learnt it. So in our last class we were learning second part of blood, that is formed elements. No? We were discussing formed elements, which includes RBCs, that is red blood corpuscles, also called as erythrocytes. It includes WBCs. WBC is also called leukocytes. Then there are platelets present, which is required for clotting of blood. Already about RBC we have discussed. We were discussing about WBCs in last class, isn't it? We were discussing about WBCs in last class. And formed elements, you know that 45% of the blood is formed elements. Remaining 55% is plasma, that is the liquid part. After that 45, WBCs are least. As we know, it is just 6,000 to 8,000 in number per cubic millimeter of blood. Per cubic millimeter of blood, just 6,000 to 8,000 cells will be there. What about RBC then? RBC is 5 to 5.5 million will be there. This is just 6,000 to 8,000 white blood corpuscles or leukocytes will be there. Okay, out of that, you know that white blood corpuscles are of two types. What are the two types? One is granulocytes. Other one is agranulocytes. Without granules. A means without. Like sexual, asexual reproduction we say. Agranulocytes. And granulocytes are again three types, if you remember. That is neutrophils is one type of cell. Then basophils are other type of cell. Then eosinophils are third type of cells of under granulocytes. Under agranulocytes there are two types, that is monocytes and lymphocytes. If you remember, out of these five types of cells of white blood corpuscle, neutrophil constitutes 60 to 65% of WBC. Means out of all white blood corpuscles, 60 to 65% of WBCs is only neutrophils. And which is least? Basophil is least, which is just 0.5 to 1% of WBCs is basophils, isn't it? What we have discussed in last class. Eosinophils constitute 2 to 3% of white blood corpuscles in number, just 2 to 3%. No? Then what about monocytes? Constitutes 6 to 8% in number of WBCs. That means out of 6,000 to 8,000 cells present, what percentage of cells are these? Maximum is neutrophil, then monocytes 6 to 8%, then one more part is there, that is lymphocytes, which constitutes 20 to 25%. 20 to 25% of WBC is lymphocytes. So second highest in WBC in number. First highest is 60 to 65% neutrophil. Second highest is lymphocytes, which is 20 to 25% of WBC. Then comes monocyte, that is 6 to 8%. Then eosinophils, 2 to 3%. And last, very less number, that is 0.5 to 1%. Sometimes less than 1%, that is 0.5. Okay. So we have discussed about this, and we have seen functions of these cells also, if you remember. Like neutrophils, we have discussed that this neutrophil and this monocytes, they are phagocytic, meaning if any bacteria or virus enters our body, these neutrophils and monocytes will eat them. By eating them, that is called phagocytosis. That is why we call it as phagocytic. Cell eating is called phagocytosis, not in English. You know, most of the words in biology are derived from either Latin or Greek language. As per that, phagocytosis means cell eating. By eating that bacteria which enters our body, it protects our body. It gives immunity. So if any disease causing bacteria enters our body, instead we get disease, what neutrophils and monocytes do, they eat them so that we are safe. We don't get any disease, so that they give immunity. Okay. Then, what about eosinophils? They resist infections. Eosinophils resist infections. Meaning, any infection by bacteria or virus doesn't happen to our body. We don't get any fever or any disease, any infection of any virus or bacteria. It is because of eosinophils. Because just 2 to 3% of white blood corpuscles, that is eosinophils, protects us from all kinds of infections and also allergies, and also protects from allergic reactions. See, that is why when blood test is done for any person, first thing what they see is what is the quantity of eosinophils present. If eosinophils are present more than 2 to 3%, that means person has some kind of allergy. Because whenever there is any allergy in your body, then eosinophils number increases because they fight with allergies. Their percentage increases if eosinophils in blood test, if you notice that if eosinophils percentage is more than 3%, it indicates that that person has allergy in the body. Okay, or any kind of infection is there, or any bacteria entered or virus entered, first what you should see in blood test, is number of eosinophils. Total blood count test they do, when you have fever and all, severe fever and all, blood test will be done. Then the blood test, they show what all kinds of blood cells present. They show the name of all these kinds of cells. What you have to focus on is eosinophils. Eosinophils will be produced in more number, more than 2 to 3% when there is infection in the body or when there is allergy in the body. So if a person has allergy, then eosinophils quantity, number will be more. It shows in the blood test. Okay. So next part is very important. Why we get protection from all the diseases? We have immunity. Immunity is because of this cell that is called lymphocytes. And lymphocytes are of two types. I think in 10th standard you have learned this. Lymphocytes are of two types. That is B lymphocytes. Next year also you will learn again in detail. Other one is T lymphocytes. Two types of lymphocytes are present. And these lymphocytes, B and T lymphocytes, are present in 20 to 25% in number of WBC. B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes, there are two types of lymphocytes. Then these two lymphocytes, B and T lymphocytes, provides immunity to our body. So now about COVID cases and all, coronavirus cases, they are talking about person should have very good immunity to fight with that virus. If the person has weak immunity, then person may die also. Death is caused. Usually what happens in young age or below 45 years of age, immunity will be very strong. After 45 years, immunity keeps decreasing. In old age, a person who has crossed 60, 65 years of age, his immunity is very low. So if that person gets coronavirus into his body, then there are chances that it may cause severe cases and it may cause death also. Okay, so B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes, how they give immunity? B lymphocyte produces very important chemical in our body called antibodies. Now everywhere people are talking about antibodies only, even in the news channels. What is antibody? Antibody is a chemical produced against antigen. What is antigen now? Antigen means any foreign body which causes infection to you, which causes disease to you. Like in case of COVID cases, coronavirus is an antigen. Okay. In case of typhoid, typhus fever or typhoid, Salmonella typhi bacteria is an antigen. In case of allergy, dust which is non-living but also it is called antigen. Any foreign body which is not a part of your body, which comes from outside and causes some problem in your body or disease in your body, that is called antigen. So whenever any bacteria enters, to that bacteria, to kill that bacteria, one of the WBC, one of the white blood cell, that is lymphocytes, produce B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte. And B lymphocyte produces antibodies, and these antibodies are produced against the antigen. Any bacteria or virus entered, that is antigen. To kill that antigen, some chemicals are produced, that is called antibodies. And you should know that. That's not mentioned in the textbook, but you should know that antibodies are shape specific. Shape specific means depending on the shape of antigen, opposite shape will be there for antibodies. That is why for killing any virus, one type of antibody is not enough. To that particular antigen, that particular opposite shaped antibody is required. It is like lock and key. Like you have one key with you. With that key, you cannot open all the lock. You can open only one kind of lock. Okay, like your car key is there with you. With your car key, you can start only your car, not others' car. Because the shape of that key and shape of that lock is exactly opposite, so it fits. That is why antigen is like a key. Okay, antibody is like a lock. So antibodies are shape specific and it is antigen specific also. Like for example, we have taken polio vaccine. What that vaccine contains? It contains dead virus. That is virus which causes polio. But it is dead, so we don't get polio. So when the dead bacteria enters inside or dead virus enters, to that shape of that virus, exactly opposite shape, antibodies are produced, and that antibodies will be permanent in the blood. Next time when person is, till the person dies in his lifespan, suppose he lives for 70 years, in that 70 years, any time that live virus enters, polio virus enters, living polio virus enters, then already antibodies are there, shape specific antibodies are there, it will kill that polio virus so that you are safe, you don't get polio. This is the idea behind making vaccine. So while making vaccine, they have to make a chemical which is exactly opposite shape of the virus, so which should bind to the virus and kill it. So vaccine they are giving, vaccine what they give is coronavirus only, but dead, not living virus. Dead virus they inject so that to the shape of that dead virus, exactly opposite shaped chemical is produced, that is antibody. So getting immunity means producing antibodies. Okay, once person gets that corona disease COVID-19 and he recovers, his blood will already have antibodies produced. Okay, so he is immune in most of the cases. Okay, in case of fever that is not possible, because in case of fever permanent immunity is not possible. People keep getting fever. No, permanent antibodies are not produced. Permanent shape specific antibodies are not produced. But anyway, for polio, whatever vaccine is available today, they are all chemicals which are having exactly opposite shape of that disease causing microorganism. Anyway, so whenever we have any infection, whenever any bacteria or virus enters our body, that is called antigen. to that antigen, to kill that antigen, our body produces antibodies that is produced by B lymphocyte. Now, question is, what about T lymphocyte? We said this also gives immunity. T lymphocyte doesn't produce any antibody, but T lymphocyte helps B lymphocyte to produce antibodies. That is why they are called helper cells, T helper cells. But you should know that, very important, that B lymphocyte can produce antibody only when T lymphocyte helps it. Otherwise, only B lymphocyte cannot produce antibody. So, T lymphocyte is also very important then. T lymphocyte helps B lymphocyte to produce antibodies. Okay. And T lymphocyte has one more type of immunity. T lymphocyte is required for identifying self and non-self. Self and non-self means which is your body, cells and which is foreign body, which has entered from outside. Who will identify it? Because if they identify that it is foreign, only then antibodies are produced. That identification of self and non-self which has come from outside, foreign body, is identified by T lymphocytes. So first what happens, any bacteria enters your body, T lymphocytes will identify that bacteria entered our body, then it helps B lymphocyte to produce shape specific antibody. For example, we will take, this is the shape of bacteria, okay, which entered your body, or virus. This is the antigen. Your body should produce antibody which is having exactly opposite shape of that, so that it fits. So I hope you can see what I am showing here. See the shape, it fits. Okay, but you see this type, or this type, or you see this type cannot fit here. No, it is not having exact opposite shape, isn't it? So this also cannot bind here now. See, this is single. Okay, exactly opposite shape should be there, only then it can bind like this. No, it fits. See here, it fits. Then only it can act. That is how it is, like a lock and key. Okay, I hope you understood what I am saying. Then we have discussed about what? RBCs, WBCs. Now what is left? Platelets are left. What is the function of platelet? It is required for clotting of blood, also called as coagulation of blood. That is, whenever there is a cut or wound, blood starts flowing. After some time, blood flow stops. That is because that process is called clotting of blood. That is, so next part of formed element, that is platelets. Platelets are also called as thrombocytes. Thrombocytes, because special type of protein is present called thrombin and prothrombin in the platelets. That's why it is called thrombocytes. You can call it as blood platelets or thrombocytes. Okay, they are required for clotting, or also called as coagulation of blood. You can say coagulation or clotting, both are same. What is their number? It is 1,50,000 to 3,50,000 in number per cubic millimeter of blood. Per cubic millimeter of blood, 1,50,000 to 3,50,000 platelets will be there. Okay, that is a range given. In case of malaria, then dengue fever and all, platelet number reduces less than 1,50,000. It goes up to 50,000, 40,000 and all. Person becomes unconscious. In case of malaria, we see that platelet number decreases. When person starts recovering, then platelet number increases. If platelet number increases in malaria, it is an indication that he is recovering from malaria. So like that. This is my personal experience. I had malaria, so I recovered. not now, some 8-10 years back. Okay, so this is a number present, that is platelets. Okay, platelets release a variety of substances. It releases different type of substances which is required for clotting of blood. Okay, so whenever there is a wound or any cut, bleeding starts. At that time, platelets or thrombocytes produce different types of chemicals, and that chemicals are helpful in clotting of blood, that is stopping blood flow, so that person is saved. Otherwise, what happens, if this variety of substances are not present, or platelets are not present, or platelets are less than 1,50,000, then the person will have clotting disorders, like blood flow doesn't stop. Then if blood flow doesn't stop, person will die. He will die because of loss of blood. Continuously blood starts flowing and blood flow doesn't stop, the person will die. Okay, so this is about part of blood. Now next what we have to discuss is very interesting part, and every person wants to know, not only science student, many people wants to know about blood grouping. People talk about A blood group, B blood group and all, that we are going to learn now about blood grouping. Okay, you have heard of blood, every person's blood looks red only, because coloring pigment present is hemoglobin only, so every human being's blood is red color only. But even though it looks red, but difference is there for people's blood, like I have red color blood and you also have red color blood, but we have a difference with the blood, that is our blood may belong to different blood group, so difference is there definitely. So what are the kinds of blood grouping? Blood grouping is what we call ABO blood grouping. Mainly two groups are there, ABO blood groups, and other one is RH blood group. ABO blood grouping means to tell whether blood group is A or B or AB or O type. RH group is to tell whether it is positive or negative. Okay, ABO blood group means to tell whether person has blood group A, B, AB or O. If it is A, whether it is A positive or negative, B positive or negative, AB positive or AB negative, O positive or O negative, that you will come to know by RH blood group. So first, one by one we will learn. First we will learn about ABO blood grouping. ABO blood grouping. You should know that RBC, red blood corpuscle, suppose you take this as RBC, red blood corpuscle, one red blood cell I have taken, red blood corpuscle. On the membrane of it, on the outer membrane of RBC, there will be one antigen present. Okay, on RBC on red blood corpuscle, outer membrane of red blood corpuscle, one antigen is present. If that antigen is A antigen, then the blood group is A blood group. Okay, then if a person has on the RBC, on the outer membrane of red blood corpuscle, suppose different antigen is there, that is called B antigen, then it is called B blood group. That means, suppose, see, for example, I'll take my example. I am A positive blood group. I know my blood group. So on the red blood corpuscle of my body, outer membrane of red blood corpuscle, I have A antigen. So I am blood group A. If you have B antigen, then you are blood group B. What if it has two types of antigen? Like you have antigen A also and you have antigen B also. Then that is A and B. If you have both, then it is AB blood group. AB blood group. And one more case is there. You cannot neglect this case also. That no antigens present, no antigen A, no antigen B, then it is O blood group. That means depending on which type of antigen is there, difference is there in blood group. So we all have differences with the blood group. Okay, if you have A positive only, then you have similarity with me, because I also have A positive. Otherwise, if you are B positive, you and me have difference. Okay, then we see that blood group A, B or AB or O just we discussed, and second type RH group is there, no? RH group. So along with that 80%, I'll tell you what is RH and all in detail, we will discuss later. RH group, where it is to tell positive or negative. What is that? On the membrane of RBC, along with whether A or B antigen is present, suppose one more antigen is there called RH antigen, that is called RH antigen, along with A, it becomes A positive. That means what, if RH antigen is there on the membrane, then it is positive. If RH is not there on the membrane, then it is negative. So here, suppose where it is, suppose A blood group, we came to know it is A blood group. In my body I am A positive, so I have here one more antigen called RH antigen. If RH antigen is not there, then it is A negative. If RH antigen is there, it becomes B positive. If it is not there, it becomes B negative. Here one more is there, RH is there, then it is AB positive. Otherwise it is AB negative if it is not there. Then O, no antigen A, no antigen B, but it can have RH, then it becomes O positive. If no RH also, no A, no B, no RH, then it becomes O negative. So you should know that 80% of mammals, or you can say 80% of humans, 80% of humans have positive blood group. Only 20% is negative blood group. That is why negative blood group is rare, virala, less in number. Okay, so getting positive blood group is very easy because 80% of the human beings have it. Now we will see under what case it becomes A blood group, B blood group. So first we are going to learn this ABO group, then we will learn about RH. Okay, then this diagram is not there in the book. Okay, this is to make you understand. I did this diagram, but it is true. This is not wrong diagram. If you see NEET books and all, they show this diagrams, but in textbook it is not there. That is for your understanding. I hope you understood very well now. That is what is important for me. Your understanding is only important for me. Okay, we will see, we'll make one table that in first column we will say blood group, which type of blood group is there, like which type of blood group is there, that is A, B is one blood group, AB is one blood group, O is one blood group. Okay, then in these blood groups, type of antigen present, what type of antigen is there, we will see. Okay, for this type of antigen, what type of antibodies are produced? Types of antibodies. What type of antibodies are produced in the plasma of blood, that also we should see. Okay, then what kind of person can donate blood? Donor's blood. Donor's blood group. I mean, which all blood group person can donate to A? That also we will see. So type of antigen present is A. In case of blood group A, 1, we will separate it, 2, 4. Okay. So for blood group, person having blood group A, type of antigen present on the RBC is A. Okay, then what about in the plasma? Antibodies in the plasma against this antigen. That is, what type of antibodies are produced? It is anti-B is an antibody produced in the plasma. For A antigen present on the membrane of red blood corpuscle, in the blood plasma against this anti-B is produced. Okay, anti-B. Then the donor's blood group is A person can donate, O person also can donate. Person having A blood group and O blood group can donate blood to A. Okay. Why? Because O blood group is called universal donors. This is very important, you should know. O blood group is called universal donor. Universal donor means, you know, O person having O blood group can donate blood to any blood group. Any blood group. What is the reason? Because he doesn't contain any antigen. He doesn't contain any antigen. No antigen A, no antigen B. No antigen present on the membranes. So he can donate, O person can donate blood to any blood group. Suppose if I have O blood group, I can donate blood to anybody, any blood group, whether he is A, B, AB or O, I can donate blood directly. Then there are blood groups called universal acceptors or universal recipients, that is AB blood group. AB blood group is called universal recipients, or you can say universal acceptors. Means person having AB blood group can receive blood from any blood group. O blood group can donate to any, AB blood group can receive any blood from any blood group. Okay, because antibodies produced in plasma is nil, that we will see now. After completing the table you will understand. Okay, if it is B blood group, antigen present is B and in the plasma it is anti-A. And donor's blood group you can guess. Here it is A and O, here it is B and O, because O is universal donor, can donate to anybody. B person can donate B. Then AB, type of antigen present is A and B both. Then what about plasma? Nil. No antibodies in the plasma. Antigen present is A and B, but antibodies present in the plasma is nil. It doesn't produce any. Okay, because of this reason only AB blood group is universal recipient. So AB blood group person can receive blood from A, O, AB, B. Okay, so donor's blood group should be all four. because AB blood group is universal recipient. They can receive blood from any blood. So like they can receive from A, they can receive from B, they can receive from AB, they can receive from O also. And last, O blood group, antigen present is nil, no antigen present, no A, no B. And here it produces two types of antibodies, that is anti-A and anti-B, both in the plasma. Then donor's blood group, only O can donate. Only O can donate. O blood group is universal donor, but person having O blood group has one negative point. What is that, you know? If person having O blood group requires blood, he has to search for that blood, because very less number of people in this world have O blood group. O blood group is rare. Most of the people will have A, B, very less is AB, very less is O. Okay, so O blood group has one problem and one benefit also. Benefit is O blood group can donate to any blood group person. But when they require blood, they have to receive from only O. So if person is ill and operation is going on, person having O requires blood group, then you have to receive from O only. But a person having any blood group is having operation and he requires blood, they can take from O at any time, because O blood group is universal donor and AB blood group is universal acceptor. Okay, so lot of advantage is there for AB blood group. See, if person has AB blood group, because he can receive from A, B, AB and O. Okay, anyway, so this is about ABO blood grouping. Then next what we have to see is RH grouping. Here what you have understood, here just you understood that which blood group, A, B, AB or O, but you will not come to know with this table whether it is positive or negative blood group. For that we have to learn this second part, that is RH blood group. Okay, so we will see what is that RH, why it is called RH and all. Oh, sorry. RH grouping is the most interesting part of this chapter. RH grouping, it is called RH because RH means on the membrane of RBC the antigen present is called RH antigen. Why that RH word came there? Because the type of antigen present on the membrane of outer membrane of RBC exactly looks same like antigen present on the RBC of rhesus monkey. Name of that monkey is rhesus monkey. On the RBC, red blood corpuscle of rhesus monkey, same antigen is there which is there in human RBC. So on rhesus monkey membrane or red blood corpuscle cell membrane of rhesus monkey has same antigen, that is called RH antigen. So antigen present on human RBC also looks exactly same like what is there on RBC of rhesus monkey. That's why they called it as rhesus factor. Very important to note, rhesus factor. Rhesus factor means factor which is present in rhesus monkey. That's why it is called rhesus factor. So if rhesus factor is present, then the person is RH positive. If rhesus factor is absent on the membrane of RBC, then it is Rh negative. Okay, Rh negative means person having positive blood group. If Rh is not there, then person will have negative blood group. Simple. See, I'll give both the examples now with the diagram. This diagram is not there in the book. This is for your understanding. Suppose on the membrane of RBC, if Rh antigen is present, then it is Rh positive. If on the membrane of RBC no Rh antigen, then it is Rh negative blood group. Okay, so while donating or receiving blood from the donor, you have to see not only blood group, which type of blood group, you have to see whether it is positive or negative. Because if you give positive blood group to negative, it is mismatching, it may cause death, it will cause death. So you not only you have to match blood group, you have to match rhesus factor also. If you don't match, what happens? One example is given, one case, medical case is given. That's why I said this is a very interesting part of this chapter. What happens if positive blood group person receives negative Rh factor or vice versa? What happens? We will see. Okay. So this is a case when, suppose pregnant women if the pregnant woman has negative blood group or negative blood group, that means negative rhesus factor, that is Rh negative, but she is carrying a baby. Pregnant means she is carrying a baby. If the fetus or baby, growing fetus, okay, in her womb, growing fetus is having Rh positive blood group, what happens? So if a pregnant woman is having negative Rh negative blood group, so you consider A negative suppose, and baby what she is carrying is having positive Rh group, then what happens? Nothing happens in first delivery. In case of first delivery, it is safe delivery because baby's blood present in baby's body and its mother, pregnant mother, their blood is completely separated. By how they are separated? Because mother's blood and baby's blood is completely separated by placenta, umbilical cord or placenta. Now hokkala balli antivalla, the belly button what we have here. So through placenta separates mother's blood with baby's blood, so that during first delivery nothing happens. But during first delivery, when they cut that placenta, you know there is a remnant part here, there is a mark here, you can see belly button. No? Earlier it was a long tube. Through that we were receiving food by our mother. Okay, so baby on its own it produces blood. Mother produces blood separately. So mother's blood and baby's blood doesn't mix in the body. Even though baby is there in that mother only, inside the mother only, but their blood is completely separated by placenta. So placenta separates these two blood, so that mother's blood and baby's blood doesn't mix in the body. What if it mixes, and when it mixes, we will see now. During first delivery nothing happens, it is safe delivery because baby's blood doesn't mix with mother's blood. But suppose there is a chance of mixing after first delivery. During first delivery, when they cut that placenta, they cut the placenta and separate the baby and mother. Otherwise, connection is there between mother and baby. They just remove the baby, then long tube will be there. They cut the tube and separate the baby from mother. While separating, they cut. When they cut it, at that time blood comes out through placenta. At that time, suppose baby's blood mixes with mother's blood, what happens? Baby's blood is positive. It mixed with mother's blood. Then what happens? Mother's blood will start producing starts producing what is that called? It is called mother starts producing antibodies against Rh antigen. She starts producing antibodies against that Rh antigen. Why? Because mother has Rh negative. There is no need to produce opposite antibody. But when baby's blood is positive, when positive blood group of baby mixes with mother during first delivery, what happens? Mother received one new positive blood group. She had negative. She received positive. So it is like a poison for her. So her blood starts producing antibodies against this positive blood group. Then during second delivery, suppose same case repeats. Mother is having negative blood group. Second time also, second baby also is having positive blood group. Then what will happen? Second baby will die before birth. Because what happens there? Negative anti-RH or antibodies against Rh positive is produced there. So what will happen? That antibodies present in the mother will start killing RBC, red blood corpuscles of the baby, growing baby in second delivery. I repeat once again. During first delivery, there are chances of baby's blood mixing with mother's blood. Then mother's blood to this positive blood group, it starts producing antibodies. And these antibodies are very dangerous for second baby because these antibodies may kill RBC of fetus. Okay, and also it causes, and this will cause severe anemia, means less RBC in the baby, and causes severe jaundice in the baby, and it may be fatal or causes death of the fetus, death of second baby. And this condition, this medical condition is called erythroblastosis fetalis. Beautiful word. Erythroblastosis fetalis. Very important word. They will ask in exam, what is erythroblastosis fetalis? The word erythroblast or erythrocyte means red blood corpuscles. Fetus means baby, fetalis. This is killing red blood corpuscles of the baby. Growing babies, red blood corpuscles will die. Babies' red blood corpuscles will die because, I repeat the condition. During first delivery, mother's blood and baby's blood are separated by placenta. Mother is having negative blood group, baby is having positive blood group, but their blood is completely separated. But during first delivery, when they cut placenta, I am saying there are chances of mixing, and there is one more chance that it may not mix also. Then second delivery is safe. Okay, so if during first delivery baby's blood mixes with mother's blood, then mother's blood starts producing antibodies against this baby's antigen, Rh antigen. So that is, these antibodies are dangerous. During second delivery, what happens? The antibodies produced in the mother starts killing red blood corpuscle of second baby, and severe anemia, less blood cells, then causes jaundice and causes death of second baby. During second delivery doesn't happen. During second pregnancy, the baby will die. Okay, that condition of killing RBC of second baby, that is called erythroblastosis fetalis. Name only says erythroblast means, erythrocyte means red blood corpuscles. Blast means killing red blood cells of fetus, means baby. That is called erythroblastosis fetalis. How to solve this problem? There is a solution. So if any girls are having negative blood group, no need to worry, don't think so much. Okay, in medicine solution is there for everything. What they do after first delivery, what they do, they give anti-RH antibodies. After first delivery, they give anti-RH antibodies. This is very important. This is a medicine. When they give anti-RH antibodies injection, this will not allow mother to prepare this antibody. When mother doesn't produce this antibody, then no question of killing the baby. This is a solution. Okay, so this is a beautiful condition. What happens? It explains what happens when negative blood group mixes with positive blood group. Okay, so keep watching my classes. Thank you.